Hey everyone, in this video I'll show you how to get started with Skyrim Together Reborn and some details about how to actually play it. The video is divided into 4 parts. The first one I'll go over what version of Skyrim you need. The second one will cover installation. The third part will cover how to set up a server, and the last part will talk a bit about the gameplay itself. So, starting off with the version of Skyrim you need to play. There's a lot of confusion about what is Special Edition. There's 1.5, 1.6, Anniversary Edition. Forget about all that. I'm gonna make this very simple. What you need is this one. You need the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Special Edition. You need it on Steam. You don't need the Anniversary Edition. You don't need the Anniversary Upgrade. In fact, we even recommend that you disable the Anniversary Upgrade if you bought it. That's it. The old Skyrim version doesn't work, Legendary Edition doesn't work, Game Pass doesn't work, console VR does not work. This is the only one that works. So in Steam, if you have this updated to the latest version, so you didn't use the downgrade patcher, then you're all set. You don't need to do anything else. If you want to verify that you have the latest version, all you need to do is go to Properties, and Local Files, and then verify integrity of game files. If you did buy the Anniversary Upgrade, there should be a DLC tab here, and you can just disable the Anniversary Upgrade there. The reason we don't recommend that you play with the Anniversary Upgrade is because we don't recommend you play with mods for the best experience, and the Anniversary Upgrade is basically a mod pack. So now we'll actually get to installing Skyrim Together Reborn. In the old Skyrim Together we had a special launcher for this. This time around our mod is just hosted on Nexus, and you can download it with your favorite mod manager. In this video I'll show you how to do that with Vortex, but you can also use Mod Organizer too if you want. So the first thing you need to do is you need to get Vortex up and running. Make sure you have Skyrim detected, and then we can start. There's a lot of tutorials about it online, so I won't cover that in this video. Then you go to the Nexus mod page of Skyrim Together, which you can find in the description or on the wiki, and you'll have to go to Files. Now there will be, you'll have to press Mod Manager Download, which will then give you a pop-up saying there's a dependency. You need to install Address Library. This is an external plugin that we need to run Skyrim Together. And it says it's an SKC plugin, but just to reiterate, you don't need SKC for Skyrim Together Reborn. So, very simply, when you go to Files here, you see two versions. You need to press this one, All-in-One Anniversary Edition. You need to Mod Manager download, and then slow download, or premium if you have it. And then it'll open in Vortex. The download has started. And then once it's ready, you can just hit install right there and hit enable. It should also be here. You can also hit enable and install right here. So now we have Address Library installed. So the second part is actually installing Skyrim Together Reborn the same way. So once we have that set up, all we have to do is press download, and then slow download again, and then Vortex, and then it'll download on Vortex similarly. Alright, so as you can see, Reborn is now also installed. You just need to enable it, and that's it. Skyrim Together Reborn is now installed. The name might be a little different, and there should be a version when you install it, but it isn't here just yet. Now you can actually you cannot just launch Skyrim like through Steam. It doesn't work like that. You need to launch Skyrim Together.exe, and there's an easy way to do that within Vortex. You need to go to Dashboard, and then you can add a tool here. So in this case, we'll call this tool Skyrim Together Reborn, but you can call it whatever you want. And then we have to point this tool to where Skyrim Together Reborn is actually installed. Now an easy way to find that is by going to Steam, and then right-clicking Skyrim Special Edition, and in Manage there should be a button Browse Local Files. So this is where Skyrim is actually installed. Then we go to Data, and then Skyrim Together Reborn. This is where the mod is actually installed, and as you can see, Skyrim Together exe is located right here. So what we'll do is we'll click next to this, and then we'll just right-click, copy, and then here we'll right-click, paste, and then just enter. And now we are in the folder of Skyrim Together Reborn. So all we gotta do now is double-click skyrimtogether.exe, or open, and that's it. Now it's set up. So we just save, and now the tool is added, as you can see. Whenever you want to launch Skyrim Together Reborn, what you gotta do is you gotta go through Vortex, and then just hit this button right here. So when we run it for the first time, as you can see, it gives this pop-up with the title Select the Game Executable Skyrim SE.exe. So now this only happens the first time you launch the mod. What you gotta do is you gotta find your Skyrim installation folder, and then just double-click Skyrim SE.exe. Now it'll try to open it automatically, as you can see it did for me right here, because it was in a default location. It might not be able to find it for you, but you can use the exact same trick where you simply go to Steam, and then right-click, browse local files, and then again you can just copy this and then just paste it here. And then it's very important that you double-click Skyrim SE.exe. There will be another binary here, Skyrim SE Launcher.exe. Don't select that, that's the wrong one. This is the only right one. So just click open, and then it should launch. There we go. That's Skyrim Together installed. If you want to make sure that you're actually that it actually worked, we can check in game. And then when we hit right control to open the Skyrim Together UI, it should display. So next up we'll talk a bit about actually hosting a server. You have a few options. You can either use a third-party server hosting company like Play Together, or maybe some other service that would provide it, or you could host a server on your own. You can do that by hosting it on your computer. It's very simple. You can just double-click Skyrim Together server.exe, which is again your Skyrim folder, then data, then Skyrim Together Reborn. You just double-click it, and there we go. You may need to allow access, and that's basically the server setup. You can use this command line for a bunch of commands. There's also a configuration file right here, which has a bunch of options that you can set. Those options are explained on the wiki right here in server configuration. Now, for people to actually connect to your server, you need to do something called port forwarding. It's all described in this document a bit. There's even a tutorial here on how to do that and how to find your local IP, all that stuff. I'm not going to go over that here because there's a ton of tutorials out there on how to do that. But if you're not technically very proficient or very good at that kind of stuff, then we recommend using something like Play Together or some paid server hosting company maybe. If you would like to run the server on Linux, we recommend that you use the Docker image. There will be a link to that image right here on the server guide. So lastly, I'll talk a bit about the gameplay itself and how to have an optimal experience with Skyrim Together. We recommend that you read this play guide, which is on the wiki, and it describes what things to do and what guidelines to follow if you want the best co-op experience possible with the least amount of bugs. It's not too big, it's just some guidelines and some tips and tricks for if you get stuck, and how best to play with the new quest sync system. I'll now show you in game how to actually set that up and how to start playing. So I'm now in game. As you can see, the mod is loaded. What we recommend, well, no, what's required is that you finish the Helgen intro sequence first to the point where you're outside of Helgen, where you've escaped. As you can see, Railov is right there, just waiting for me. So once you've escaped, that's when you can connect, not earlier. So when we hit right control and then connect, as you can see, it even warns you about do not connect to any servers, you're still in the Helgen intro sequence. So since I'm running the server locally on my PC right now, I can just simply type localhost. I don't have a password set up, so I can just leave that empty, and then I can connect. As you can see, my friend's already waiting here for me. And then now what I need to do to actually start questing with my friend, start playing with my friend, is I need to invite him to the party. He has also just escaped Helgen and hasn't gone any further than that. So we have a party menu this time. We have a player list with all the players in the server, and we have a party menu. So the party menu again reiterates some stuff about how to optimally play, some suggestions on what to do, and how to make sure you have the least amount of bugs possible. So to actually start, all you need to do is you need to hit launch party. So now you've created a party. This person is the party leader. He will be doing all the quests. And then when we go to player list, there will be an invite button this time around, so we can just invite our friend here, and then he has to accept it, which he will now do. Accept invite, and the invite will be right here in the party menu. And as you can see, he's accepted it, and now I can, as the leader, I can teleport to him. You can also do it as a non-leader, but as a leader I can also kick him. So as described in the play guide, the party leader, which is my client, actually needs to talk and progress the quest.
How do you know him?
And then the other party member just stand around and they hear the dialogue, and their quest progresses the same way.
You really are Raylof
But
Stand. I'll
they
be
can't
glad
actually talk to the NPCs. The quest leader has to do all that. The same goes for picking up quest items, like the Golden Claw or the Dragonstone, for example. Again, a more detailed guide is in the play guide itself. And that's pretty much all you need to know about installing, setting up, and playing Skyrim Together Reborn. I hope you'll enjoy, and if you have any questions, let us know on our Discord.